Preseason college football playoff predictions. This day is always fun. College football fans, rejoice. You made it through yet another offseason. We have college football this upcoming month. So to celebrate this occasion, why not go out and get some brand new college football merch? I'm teaming up with Roback, the gold standard of what college football looks and feels like. They have over 78 different teams, so your team's bound to be in there. Polos, quarter zips, sweatshirts, whatever your heart desires. But use code ZAK20, that's ZAK20, for 20% off for all new customers through the end of the week. Again, that's at roback.com, RHOBACK.com, and use code ZAK20 for 20% off all performance apparel. I appreciate you guys. Before we get into the video today, if you haven't already, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment too. I want to hear your thoughts on my picks here, because in December, we'll go back to this video here and be like, hey, maybe we were like 50%. That was kind of close. But get into the video today. Go ahead and throw the bracket up right now. These are the teams that we have. That's what the playoff looks like. But to go into it a little bit more depth here and to talk about my upcoming national champion, let's get into it here. First round, Texas versus BYU. I just think Texas overwhelms them. It's going to be at Provo. It's going to be an incredibly hyped scene. I hope to go to that game, but I think Texas overwhelms. There's just too much. It's just a separation of talent there. Texas moves on to play Georgia, and I believe that's going to be in the Peach Bowl because Georgia gets to pick where they get to go. Obviously, why would you not pick home field advantage? Moving on, 12 versus 5, Boise State versus Ohio State. Again, the talent gap there is just going to be too much. Ohio State moves on to play Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. Moving on, we have 10 versus 7, a rematch from the Rose Bowl last year, Alabama versus Indiana. I just think the ground and pound of Indiana's offense, and I know Alabama's going to be talented. Like I said, Kalen DeBoer somehow finds a way to win games, but I just don't think it's going to be this game. I just don't think they can, for 4 quarters, keep up with Indiana's just consistent ground and pound. And I think Indiana wins that game pretty convincingly and moves on to play Oregon in the Rose Bowl, which, again, back-to-back Rose Bowl trips. That's pretty cool. And finally, 11 versus 6, USC versus Notre Dame. This one's cinema right here. We put up that Martin Scorsese meme of pure cinema because they're not playing in the regular season anymore. This is probably one of the bigger rivalries in all of college football, up there with Alabama, Auburn, Ohio State, Michigan. USC Notre Dame's right there. So the fact that they're playing in the playoff and they don't play in the regular season until 2030 now, I believe, that was just announced. So to see them play in the playoff for the first year they don't play, I think it's going to be incredible. But I think Notre Dame, again, just has the more talent, more experience there. And they edge out USC and beat them at home to move on to play Miami in the Cotton Bowl. Now, we're on to the quarterfinals here. Texas versus Georgia. It's going to be so back and forth. Both teams are going to score points, make big plays. But at the end of the day, like I said, there's always that lower seed team, the 8, 9, 10 team that just gets hot at the right time. I think that's Texas this upcoming year and just keeps going. And they beat Georgia basically on the road, Peach Bowl, and win the Peach Bowl to move on to the semis. Moving on, 5 versus 4, Ohio State versus Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. This is going to be a grudge match. It's going to be who wants it more. It's going to be back and forth, back and forth. But the Buckeyes will be victorious. That Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Smith connection is going to be paramount here, and I don't think Oklahoma is going to be able to stop that. And they move on to the Orange Bowl against Texas. It's going to be a great game, a rematch from week 2. Moving on, 7 versus 2, Indiana versus Oregon, a rematch from the Peach Bowl last year. And that was a blowout game as well. In the Rose Bowl, this is going to be incredible games. And that stadium, wow. I had the honor of playing there twice. It's incredible. But I think Oregon gets it done. I think they finally, they remember the pain of last year getting blown out again. And they beat Indiana. Signetti falls to Oregon. And Oregon moves on to the Sugar Bowl. And then finally, we got 6 versus 3, Notre Dame versus Miami in the Cotton Bowl. Another classic matchup. I think it's going to be ground and pound from Notre Dame. Miami's going to be getting it out to Malachi Toney, Cooper Barcade. I think Darian Mensah is the difference in this game, and Miami gets it done. And Miami defense also gets it done, gets in C.J. Carr's head a little bit, just kind of, hits him early, that kind of deal. And Miami moves on to the Sugar Bowl and plays Oregon. And moving on to the semis, first game here, Texas versus Ohio State. And like I said, they played week 2. So you'll get a little preview, but I don't think you are the same team from where you are in week 2 to where you are in week 14, 15, whatever it is. It's going to be a completely different game. They're going to know each other schematically now. But I still think that that hot streak that Texas will have is going to play a factor here, and Arch is going to have a great game. Cam Coleman probably have a great game here. I just don't think those Ohio State corners can keep up with these Texas receivers the entire game, and I think Texas wins and makes a run to the national championship. And on the flip side, you got Oregon versus Miami in the Sugar Bowl. Man, this one was hard because, like I said, a lot of people are high on Oregon. If not now, when? We're so close to making it. This is the time. But I think Miami, they tasted what it means. They tasted success last year. They were so close last year. Mario Cristobal has this team possessed. They are on a mission, and they beat Oregon in the Sugar Bowl barely. It's going to be a close game, like last-second field goal kind of deal. Barely beat Oregon and play Texas in the national championship. And my natty pick, Texas versus Miami. What an incredible national championship, by the way. One of those you turn on Monday night and you're like, all right, here we go. Because you don't know who's going to win. It's not going to be like a 7, 8.5 point favorite. These guys are going to be probably 3.5, 2.5 point favorites, someone in there. I'd probably say Texas is the favorite there. But does the Cinderella story for Texas continue? Do they finally bring home a national championship after spending all this money? Arch Manning, do you finally do it? Or does Miami finally get one after going to the national championship last year? Had a historic run last year. Darian Mensah brings in, and was he the answer? The question. I think Miami gets it done. I think Miami finally gets it done. I think the fact that they tasted that success last year, got to the national championship, saw what it takes to get there, have that like possessive mindset of, I need it. I need to win. That's why Miami's going to win the entire thing this upcoming year, and I'm really excited for this upcoming season. But college football fans, I appreciate you sticking with me. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel, liking the video. Leave a comment below. I want to hear your thoughts, but I appreciate you guys watching. This is Off Script. My name's Zak Herbstreit. I'll see you guys soon.